Hello, I'm Dr. Dawn Buse. I'm a licensed psychologist and a member of the Board of Directors of the American Headache Society. And welcome to our weekly American Migraine Foundation Weekly Wellness Series. As you know, we've put together this series to help all of us get through these very difficult and unprecedented times together. And if you've been watching the series, or if you haven't got to see them yet, you'll know that we put together a range of topics that we thought would be helpful for people who live with migraine and other severe headache or other chronic illnesses, or their loved ones, to cope through these very difficult times. So we've had talks by Dr. Amal Starling on the seeds for success. I'm going to talk about those a little bit more today. We had a talk by Dr. Alex Moskop about exercising at home during the pandemic. We've had talks from physical therapists and psychologists on mental health, coping, and well-being. And so today I'm going to put together a lot of those concepts. And of course, we'll end with a relaxing meditation. Now, if you're watching this live, this is a Facebook Live, so you are welcome to ask questions and make comments. And I think that really makes a Facebook Live special when we can interact in that way. So please ask me anything that you would like to know that I can answer, or just share how you're doing. So I'd love to hear from anyone listening how you're doing physically and psychologically as this pandemic goes on. And today is the middle of May. So depending on where you live in the world, we might be 2 or 3 months into the pandemic. And right now things actually might be starting to open up in terms of restrictions on where you live. So once again, we're at a time of fluctuation, change, and unknown. We continue to learn about the way that this virus works and spreads, about what its symptoms are, and about what happens after the virus has resolved on a daily basis. All of this changing information is very stressful. And in many ways, it parallels life with migraine, which is often a life where unpredictable, unforeseen attacks come what might feel out of the blue and steal away important stretches of hours or days of your life at a time. So that, I'm thinking, is a common theme: unpredictable, out of control. And that is a formula that leads to anxiety, and over the long run leads to depression. As a quick reminder, both anxiety disorders and depression are comorbid with migraine. That means comorbidity means that something occurs at a higher rate in someone with condition A and condition B than would be expected by chance. So if you have migraine, you are also more likely to experience depression or anxiety. Also, it goes the other way. If you have depression, you're more likely to experience migraine. Either one can start first. So that doesn't mean that one causes the other or either one is your fault. It just means there are neurochemicals in the brain and genetic predispositions in the body, genes, that predispose you to both. With that in mind, I want to think really carefully for the person living through this pandemic with migraine or other chronic and severe headache or other chronic illness. What are the themes that really might lead to feelings of depression and anxiety? And I think a big one is this lack of control. We don't know what's coming next. We don't know what to expect, and we don't always know the right course of action. And right now, each person listening will have a different personal experience. And this experience may be hitting you in a different way: financial, family, health. And you may have a whole range of emotions: fear, anxiety, loneliness, boredom. On the opposite of boredom and loneliness, maybe people you're sheltering in place with are too close and you'd like some space, and you have too much responsibilities and you can't get everything done. There's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of grief right now about important aspects of life that we're missing. We're missing big events, graduations right now this time of year, weddings, celebrations. We're missing small events, and we're just missing being with each other. Not having that social and that personal connection is really important to us as humans, and we don't have that right now. So out of control, and out of control is a very bad feeling. So one thing we can do right now is think about what is within my control. So I kind of think about the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So let's determine what is within our control. And let's give our emotional energy, resources, and trying to find solutions to that set of problems and issues. And then let's think about what's not within our control right now, which is quite a lot of information about the future, planning for the future, maybe even some limitations about where we can go, what we can do, what we can't do, quite a bit of that. And let's think about how to manage all the worries about that space, all those things not within our control. And I'm looking at some of the comments coming in, and the first person said, I'm very tired, I just want to sleep. And I'm wondering, are you very tired because you're not getting enough sleep? Either you've got too many responsibilities and you're not getting enough time to sleep, or is anxiety, stress, worry, or pain causing you to not be able to fall asleep, not stay asleep? I believe that is Suzanne. So Suzanne, if you want to write back and share a little bit more about what your specifics are. But I think that's a really, really good place to start, Suzanne. So we're going to start with what can we control in our healthy lifestyle habits that matter in migraine. Those are the seeds for the success. Sleep. What can we control in sleep? Well, we can control the environment. Keep it dark, keep it quiet, keep it comfortable. Limit screen time, especially before bed. Limit the bright lights into the eyes. Try to keep a routine. The nervous system and brain is happiest with a regular routine. And for a lot of us, not having the same work and school hours, it's hard to keep a routine, and we may be kind of cycling and floating in everything, in sleep, in meals, in exercise. If we have children at home, they may be also experiencing that. And if you have young children at home, or if you've ever had young children, you know how well they do with a routine, and how when they don't have a routine, things kind of fall apart and they get over anxious and overexcited and overtired. And that's happening to us right now. So while it may seem silly at times, and it may seem that it's a surprise that we have to tell ourselves this, remember your basic hygiene and routine. Remember to shower. Remember to do your grooming, your hair, whether it's makeup, whether it's putting on jewelry, whether anyone's going to see you or not, because it feels good to you, it feels normal, and it's grounding. So keeping that routine. If sleep is being disrupted due to anxiety, stress, worries, then let's think about a way to address those. That may be a guided meditation that pulls away your thoughts, which we'll do one of those in a moment. It may be taking that stressor and writing it down and setting it aside for a moment and seeing if you can put it aside to try to sleep. It may be listening to an audiobook or something silly, distracting, engaging that takes your mind off things. Or it may be even talking to a trusted friend or advisor, or seeking mental health help. And there's a lot of ways right now to talk with psychologists, therapists, social workers. There's telehealth options that can be through health insurance. There's also a lot of free options right now, and we can put up some of these. Not only there's hotlines, but there's warm lines, meaning, you know, things are okay, but you'd like to talk to someone. There's text options, there's phone call options, there's online support groups and education. So trying to kind of figure out what it might be that is going on for you. Let me read a couple other comments. So Lynn says, I have vestibular migraine without headache, but when I'm dizzy, I get scared and have a panic attack. Absolutely, Lynn. Dizziness and with or without nausea are two of the most debilitating symptoms that humans ever feel. It is very, very hard to function when you're dizzy. And it's not surprising that that does lead to feelings of panic, feelings of a panic attack, or just heightened anxiety. It's very disorienting. So, of course, if you have not seen a doctor or talked to your doctor about vestibular migraine, that's a very good place to start to talk about treatment, be it medication, interventional, behavioral, or that whole complement, all of the above. See if there are medical treatments that can help ideally prevent it from even happening, or that can help with once it has started happening. The next thing is, if you can lie down, that does often help with dizziness, not always, but it can help with dizziness. And if you have the ability to take a break from whatever your task is, let's hope you're not driving at the time or something where you feel like you're in danger and need to pull over. If you're in home or a safe place and you can lay down, or you can slow down and close your eyes and either do a relaxation, listen to music, something, and calm yourself. And the talk that you want to tell yourself is, this is the vestibular migraine, this dizziness comes, it will pass, there's nothing wrong that will hurt me. So you need to do a self-talk that's calming and soothing and reassuring to yourself, to try to break the connection that's happening between the dizziness and the panic attack. So it's that space in between, that self-calm, the lovely deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, and calm yourself. And maybe even consider, are there things that are calming, soothing, relaxing, comforting to you personally, and gather those things in a emergency toolkit so that you've got them right next to you when you want them. Does it feel nice to have a cold washcloth or a cold pack on the head? Is there you have a favorite pillow? Do you have a favorite song or a playlist? Try to get those things together, of course, when you're not in the midst of an attack, so you have them handy when you are. And I'm sorry, both dizziness and panic attacks are both terrible feelings, and hopefully you might be able to improve both of them by improving the other one. So talk to your doctor, and then check out various ways to manage panic attacks, either yourself by looking at some online resources and looking into cognitive behavioral therapy and trying relaxation exercises, or can consider talking to a psychologist who can help you with that specific issue in managing panic attacks. So Gwen says something that I've heard so much, I think is very important. She says, I'm speaking for my husband who has chronic migraine, and this pandemic is like every day for him. And I've seen many, many people on the Move Against Migraine Facebook group, which is American Migraine Foundation's closed group, and we have more than 25,000 people kind of talking to each other in this community and supporting each other. I've seen this come up time and time again, where people are saying the stay-at-home order didn't change my life too much, and some people are saying that the lack of kind of outside pull to have social events, to meet with others, to be in the office, to be at school, to be out, it's been a bit of a relief that you don't have to say no to things, you're not missing anything right now. And I've heard other people mention, quite a few people, that some of their routines have been better during the pandemic because, for example, if they're working at home instead of in the office, they don't have to get up so early to get ready, to commute, to get their children ready and off to school. So people have been able to sleep a little bit later and longer. People have been able to take breaks in their workday and eat when they're hungry and stay hydrated, have their water at their desk, and even consider stretching breaks or exercise breaks if they feel well enough. So that's very interesting, and I invite people in the comments, is anyone else feeling that way? That, of course, we would not wish this pandemic to exist. It is scary and dangerous. But is anyone else feeling like the lack of a lot of life going on outside is almost a relief for once, and that you can kind of just take care of yourself and not feel that outside pull to have to engage outside, or that maybe other people understand for once what it's like to be at home and be missing out on a lot of things. So this is interesting. So Minji said, I want to stay calm, but people around me are angry. I'm not panicking with them. So that's interesting. And I've heard other people say that as well, that as a group, there's comfort in everyone being worried as well and connecting with people. And so those who are pretty anxious and upset, Minji, are saying, why aren't you anxious and upset? And you're saying, I'm trying to stay calm. And that's something I've heard people say as well. So I commend you for staying calm, because ultimately staying calm is the best thing for your body and the best thing for your mind. So again, anytime, what's good for a migraine nervous system? Routine, quality sleep at the same time every day, eating and staying hydrated, basic healthy routine and regular schedule, managing stress in whatever way works for you. Now that's a hard one for a lot of us right now. Social interactions in whatever way works for you. And these days, a lot of it may be virtual, maybe online, either calls with others or support groups, or into kind of social media groups. But I'm also going to recommend that we all limit our amount of media, especially media which is anxiety producing, because so much is rapidly evolving, rapidly changing. And it's also hard to know, as things develop day by day, which facts are accurate, and this is very stressful. So I highly recommend that you limit your media to maybe 10 or 15 minutes a day. You can choose any source that you find helpful, and don't engage in the discussion and the debates around it. Just get your information and then turn it off, because right now media is doing its best, but it's certainly a source of anxiety, fear, debate, and not necessarily good for keeping a kind of calm and centered sense of self right now. So limit your media. And on the opposite side, as much as you can, spend time with people who are healing and restoring, as if they're in your physical social circle. If they're not, that can be virtual. Think about spending time with pets. Pets are so good for our well-being. Think about spending time outside as much as is safe and legally allowed right now and recommended. Seeing green spaces has wonderful effects on our brain. It goes way, way back to humans looking for food and for survival. Green makes us happy, as does blue. Seeing a blue sky, seeing blue water. Get outside if you can. If you can't, look at nature images on screens and imagine yourself being there. And that releases all these lovely little happy endorphins in our brain and makes us feel safe and well as humans. So that's a good thing to do. And one more thing we can do that's within our control is lower our expectations right now. Lower your expectations for yourself. Lower your expectations for others. It really is not possible these days to do everything in the same way that we might like to do them. It may not be possible to, perhaps you're working from home, perhaps you're caring for your children at home, perhaps it's not possible to fit in exercise or cleaning your house or whatever things are important to you. This is temporary. This will pass. And be gentle with yourself on those expectations, because right now we all have a lot on our plates and we cannot do everything perfectly. But very interestingly, in happiness research, the formula for happiness is pretty simple. It's expectations. It's a division. Um, expectations is the bottom, is the denominator, and reality is the top, it's the numerator. So you can either change your reality, make your reality better, or you can change your expectations, lower your expectations a bit. And so right now, that's what we have control over, is letting go of some of our expectations, being gentle on ourselves and those around us, and just kind of riding through this together as safely and with as much grace and gentleness to each other as we can. So I would like to move us to a relaxation. And the reason why relaxation is so important is it is exercise for your nervous system. So throughout the day, our fight or flight response goes up, 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 up. That part of our nervous system is activated right now more than ever. We have so much real physical threat and worry right now. And our primal brain is just going off, fight or flight all the time. Thank goodness as humans today, we don't always have physical danger to worry about, but we do right now, and that's very scary. And then we also have social, financial, family, all these other stressors. Our fight or flight system is just boom, boom, boom. When we can do a relaxation or a distraction, we can calm and balance our nervous system. It's very good for living well with a chronic illness like migraine and preventing an increase in attacks. It's also just good for all of our systems. It's good for the blood flow, it's good for circulation, it's good for our organs to function healthy. It helps with not gaining weight. Here's what happens with weight gain. The fight or flight system goes off. Your brain thinks that you need to run away from a tiger, and so it releases adrenaline and glucose and cortisol. Glucose is blood sugar, gives you energy to run, but since we're not running, that blood sugar doesn't go anywhere except to our bellies. So chronic stress, in addition to everything else, leads to weight gain around the middle. None of us want that. So that's one reason why relaxation practice and distraction is really good for you. And I want to write you a prescription that I'd love for you to engage in some sort of 10 minutes a day of relaxation or distraction of anything in your life that brings you enjoyment. And for 10 minutes, you forget as much as possible about what's going on right now that's producing so much worry for all of us. So let's do a brief practice together, and then if you'd like, of course, continue when we end or continue on your own, and you can find guided visual imagery for free on YouTube, on iTunes. I have them for free on my website, which is just dawnbuse.com, and all sorts of places. So, and you can do it yourself as well. So let's get comfortable. Uncross your legs. You're welcome to lay down. You can just rest back in your chair. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Lay on a couch, a bed, a floor, whatever you'd like. And take a big breath in through the nose. Hold in the lungs. Let it really get absorbed. And a big exhale. Blow out stress and tension. Hold again. And inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale out stress and tension. And hold. Now go ahead and let your eyes close. Keep your breath on that lovely slow pace. In through the nose. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Follow whatever pace is comfortable for you. I want to make sure you get enough oxygen, but slow is our goal. I want to really fill the lungs. And take about 10 seconds and do your own breath cycle. And leaving your eyes closed, let's do a scan of your body. Start at the top of your head. Notice anywhere that you're feeling pain, stress, or tension. And bring that breath into that part of your body. As you breathe in, if you've got pain in the head, bring it up to your head and really imagine the oxygen in the blood moving around that part of your body, warming, healing, relaxing that pain if at all possible. Moving the focus, scan down the back of your neck, your shoulders, across your chest, your stomach, anywhere that's pain, bringing some healing energy and attention to that part of your body. Notice the pain. Bring energy and attention, and then let it go. You may or may not change it, but acknowledge that it's there. Respect it, and move down your body, down to your legs, over your knees, all your toes, noticing any pain, tension, and imagine that pain untying like a knot unravels and relaxing just a bit as you bring warm, healing energy of your breath to that part of your body. Very good. Now we're going to let your mind float free of your body. We're going to imagine it is a lovely summer afternoon and you are sitting on the porch of a mountain cabin. Maybe this is somewhere you've seen before or been before, maybe somewhere you've never been but you'd like to go. You're sitting in a rocking chair. You have your favorite beverage beside you. And if you like dogs or cats, maybe there's a dog or cat close by taking a nap. And as you look out past the patio, there's a beautiful lake in front of you. There's a small dock and a rowboat bobbing on top of the water. And you can see the sun making gold and silver sparkles on top of the water. As you breathe in, inhale the scent of the pine trees, so crisp and refreshing. And as you breathe out stress and tension, letting go of any thoughts and feelings that are bringing you worries. Temporarily just let them go, breathe them out. And you look out across this lake and you notice off in the distance a mother duck and her baby ducklings swimming across the lake. And just watch the ripples behind them. Notice those ripples, how far they travel on the surface of this still lake. And as you watch them and rock in the rocking chair on this wood patio, wood porch, you feel calm and relaxed, peaceful and safe. It's a time sometime in the past or sometime in the future when you don't have anything to worry about, at least for this amount of time, and you enjoy a feeling of relaxation, warmth and heaviness as it spreads over your body, starting from the top of your head and spreading all the way down your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your stomach, down, down, down your body, down to the tops of your legs, over your knees, down to your calves, warm and relaxing, down to your feet and to your toes, leaving your body feeling heavy and tingling and comfortable. And anywhere that you do have pain, you notice that pain, and you also try to let it go. Maybe bringing down the intensity just the smallest bit, or bringing the focus of healing energy to that area. As you go back to this beautiful afternoon on this mountain cabin in front of this lovely lake, take a look around and see everything you can see. Create an image that is perfect for you. Exactly what you'd want to see. What color and types of trees are there? Are there flowers? Is there grass? Are there paths that go in one direction or another? Are there hills or mountains surrounding you? Are there birds in the sky? Notice everything you can see and everything you can smell. Do you smell the trees, the grass, the flowers? Do you smell the warm earth? Maybe you're wearing sunscreen and you smell that, or maybe you have a beverage and you smell that. All comforting, happy, relaxing scents. As you breathe in, you can just feel this oxygen come into your lungs, and you know that every tree around you is giving you oxygen. And as you exhale, you're giving back to those trees carbon dioxide, and you feel at one with nature in a lovely cycle. Breathing in that healing oxygen and breathing out carbon dioxide. And now I will let you relax on your own for a short moment. Very good. Now in just a moment, we will leave this lovely place, but know that you can return to this place anytime in your mind that you choose to do so. Anytime when you're feeling worry or anxiety, panic or insomnia, pain or discomfort, you can go back to this lovely setting and put yourself right back into this state of deep peace and relaxation, comfort and safety. Now, leaving your eyes closed, imagine that you stand up from the rocking chair. You walk forward and you step down a few steps off of the porch and onto the soft earth or grass in front of you. And as you stand up, both in your mind and both in real life, stay sitting, but take a lovely stretch. Stretch any part of your body that you feel like you would like to stretch. Stretch your arms. Maybe you gently roll your head or move your neck or shoulders in a shrug or anything that feels comfortable. Start to return your focus to the feeling of your own body. Leaving your eyes closed, I will now count backwards from 5 down to 1. And with each count, you start to feel more and more awake and refreshed. 5, 4. Take a lovely deep inhale and a big exhale. And 3. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Start to notice the feelings of your body. And 2. Return your focus to the feeling of the chair, the bed, the floor beneath you. Leaving your eyes closed, notice any sounds around you. The sound of my voice, any sounds where you're sitting and laying. And 1. Just as you wake up in the morning, now gently open your eyes. Look around and make any stretch or adjustment that would feel good. And be ready to go about your day feeling peaceful and calm, but also alert and refreshed. So thank you for joining me today, both for this discussion and sharing your experiences via Facebook Live, as well as for this Restoring Relaxation. Please remember that relaxation practice is of great benefit to your nervous system at any time, and especially for someone living with migraine or other severe headache, and while we all travel through these uncertain and difficult times that we're all in together. So please care for yourself, keep your routines, stay connected with each other if that's something that feels good for you. And as much as possible, remember what you can't control. For now, we just have to ride it out. You can't stop the waves from coming, but we can learn how to surf, which is a quote by Jon Kabat-Zinn. So we're just going to have to surf these waves and roll with the challenges and the fear and the uncertainty. But please keep in mind what you can control. And that is keeping your routine, your healthy lifestyle habits and basics, and being gentle with yourself and those around you. Thank you for joining me today. Be well.